What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Otaku Kickback Sessions. Hope everyone's doing fine on this fine Tuesday night. As you know, I am one of your two co-hosts, Easy the Shinobi, and as with me, as always, is my other co-host, Green Specter.
Yo, was good.
What is good? What is good? Actually, before we kick this thing off, somebody had a birthday recently.
Yeah? Who?
You know who.
Nah, who?
Come on, don't be modest. Don't be modest. It's you. Yeah, come on, dog. We celebrated your birthday this past weekend.
We did?
What do you mean we did? We took you to Japan and to Japantown and everything.
No, well, my birthday wasn't on the weekend.
Well, yeah, that's a good. We had to move it to the weekend because we were all working. So that's the only time we got free.
I guess, yeah, sure.
You sound disappointed.
I'm not disappointed.
I doubt it. You sound pretty disappointed right here, bro.
Nah, I'm just tired.
Yeah, say, I ain't gonna lie. It's basically a tough day at work. But this is gonna energize me right up. And as always, we're here to bring you some of the latest stuff coming around the anime and the anime news world. So I'll go ahead and kick us off. Well, before we kick us off on the news, on the news section, people want to comment "Happy Birthday, Spectre" on the comment section. That would be greatly appreciated to celebrate, to help celebrate my co-host's birthday, since apparently he thinks we didn't celebrate it. I'm gonna return those prints that I ordered you, by the way.
Damn. Anyways,
To kick us off, it's actually something that came out today. Komi can't communicate. The manga will end. Well, actually ended today, quote unquote, officially on chapter 499. Um, yeah, apparently it does, but it does come. It did come out afterwards that there's going to be an extra chapter included in volume 37. So as of now, chapter 499 is the quote unquote ending or last chapter of the manga. But yeah, after good about, we'll say, 10 years or so of serialization, we finally reached the end of a good slice of a great slice of life manga.
the manga may have ended, but we should still be expecting the anime to continue.
I'm hoping it does continue. I thought it was pretty good, at least the first two seasons. Hopefully we get some news right around volume 37 of potentially a season three, because it did leave off on an interesting note in season two. So we'll see. Um, Oh, also something that was announced recently, the Nintendo Switch 2 finally got announced. It was part of a Nintendo. Oh, no, it wasn't part of a Nintendo Direct. Nintendo just dropped the announcement video early on in the morning here in the West Coast. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. Um, and so right now it's rumored to be released in spring of 2025, which would fit around the same time the first Switch was released back in 2017. Which, damn, the first Switch was released 8 years ago. Can you believe that?
Nah, I cannot,
That's
honestly.
time flew. Yeah, no, me neither. Me neither. I still have the original one, not the OLED one, but the kind of like the one that came out in the launch year and stuff. And that's it. Kind of feels like it kind of feels like time flew. And there wasn't that much time up until you realize it was 8 years, and it's just like, damn, that was pretty quick.
Yeah,
Keeping on
bro.
with the video game, keeping on with the video game section. Some news, something that dropped yesterday, was apparently a rumor that the God of War video game series is gonna continue, but this time it's gonna take place in ancient Egypt.
Ooh.
Like, could you imagine basically Kratos fighting a Sphinx?
I mean, he fights everything.
Yeah. Here, how about this? How about basically, we see something, or could you imagine if Kratos just like say he reaches the Sphinx, and you know how for the Sphinx you have to answer three riddles and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine instead of answering the riddles, this fucking Kratos just jumps up on the Sphinx and tries to beat the answers out of him?
I mean, I don't think he'd be answering the riddles. I think it'd be the head he always keeps with him
That's the
because
that's
he's the
the
one that
thing. Is
does
a
most of
head
the
gonna?
talking.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. At least in this recent God of War games. But is it gonna bring the head with him to ancient Egypt? I would think so, right?
Yeah, he brings it with him everywhere because he knows all, well, almost everything, according to him.
Now does he know everything about ancient Egypt? We'll find out when the new God of War drops. If it does drop in ancient Egypt, we'll see. Oh, I actually I had this one on my notes simply because I did not expect this to actually be sort of confirmed. Um, you know Maple Star, right?
Of course.
No, in case you don't know Maple Star, he's a well-known, or they are well-known animator in the anime fandom, mainly because they do almost like a perfect copy of fan animations, following the same design and style of, like, say your different, say, of different anime series and stuff. But they do custom. How can I put this? Off-brand scenes for it. Um, there's some examples of Jujutsu Kaisen, My Dress Up Darling. I know there's a Legend of Zelda example. Um, so this one you actually get a kick out of. Um, so the recent video was based on Freerin, a Freerin Beyond Journey's End, and it happened to include Fern and Stark. It's a scene with Fern and Stark involved. The reason I'm bringing this up is, I guess, apparently it had came out that one of the artists from the main Freerun studio actually contributed to this new Maple Star video.
Oh, interesting. That
It's
is
just cool.
very
It's just kind of
interesting. I have no idea what to say about it.
come on. You know what to say about it.
Nut.
No, but it's really wild because I mean, obviously we do know that there's some manga artists out there or some animators out there that either have history or have done like NSFW stuff, whether it be dojins or basically off-brand scenes. But it's more crazy when you consider the fact that basically one of the artists from the actual studio itself collabed with Maple Star to basically work on this off-brand scene. And I found it kind of wild after the news dropped. I was like, how about that? Fucking fucking yeah, get incredible, I guess. Yeah, but that's a bit of surprising news. Moving on to something that I also happened to find out partly because I woke up from a nap 2 days ago. I went on YouTube, and the first video I saw was that Crunchyroll got hacked.
Huh.
Um, so yeah, so I guess what had happened was that a hacker posted up they posted up the login info for multiple premium users and stuff. And supposedly, I believe Sony said that the hacker didn't really go through their security and all that. But yeah, no. In case you have a Crunchyroll account, in case you have a Crunchyroll Premium account, just
Change your
be on the safer
passwords.
side. Yeah, change your passwords. Be on the safer side. Don't risk it. And if you're anything like me, change your passwords twice. Not because for double safety, but because I forgot the first password change and had to change it again. Fucking brain fog. But yeah, just to be on the safer side, change your passwords and just keep a track of your transactions to make sure that none of your information or none of your cards were used in any transactions that you don't recognize. Let's see. Moving on. We got some anime adaptations set for release. So first up, Gogo Loser Ranger season 2 is set for an April 13, 2025 release, following a successful season 1 that I think barely ended December or November, I believe. It ended right around the same time the fall anime season ended. Lazarus, the new anime or series that's coming out based from Shinichiro Watanabe. That's set for release in April 2025. No exact date, but it's going to be 13 episodes. Let's see. And also, we on top of the fact that we have the Komi manga ended today. Recently, the Undead Unluck manga has also ended. It ended on chapter 239. Also, Mission Yozakura family manga ended recently. I believe it was this past weekend as well. Um, and continuing on with the manga news, Kindergarten Wars is going to be going on a 2 month hiatus. It's going to come back with a new chapter starting on March 26th, 2025. Um, and let's see. Licorice Recoil is going to have 6 new anime shorts, each made by a different creator. These anime shorts are going to be, it's essentially going to be a more slice of life. It's going to follow the everyday life of Chisato, Takino, and their friends. So there's no release date set, I believe. But I'm going to assume it comes out more during the summertime, or perhaps we'll get more information in the next few months. Um, since it is going to be basically just separate shorts instead of whole new season. My Hero Academia Vigilantes finally got confirmed for a release date of April 7th, 2025 by Studio Bones. And let me pop up something here. It's the first kind of visual poster for Vigilantes. It actually looks pretty sick. It's with Koichi, Knuckle Duster, and Pop Step. Um, from the clips I've seen, or from the screenshots I've seen of the initial trailer release, because the new trailer is out now showing the animation of it. It looks clean. Studio Bones looks like it's going to be putting up a good job when it comes to animated vigilantes.
Oh yeah, I'm just glad
Um,
that it's actually getting animated.
yeah, yeah, and I'm actually, you know what? I'm actually kind of glad more that it's that they're not taking it out at the same time as My Hero Academia, the final season. They're actually giving it its own spotlight, and letting it basically go through in the spring season. Yeah, because from all accounts and purposes, from what we've heard, because I know you've read the manga full, and supposedly a lot of people gave it a good chunk of praise during its run. So yeah, I'm happy that it's not airing side by side with the final season. Instead, it's going to get its own time to uh, incorporate the audience. Let's see. And finally, we got solo leveling. Some solo leveling news. So the publisher for solo leveling, Cacao Page, they recently confirmed the live action adaptation is currently in the works. There's no set date for it yet either. But I'm assuming later on this year we'll hear more information uh coming for it. And yeah, out of the recent manga or the recent manhwa and animes that have been coming out, yeah, I could see Solo Leveling having an adaptation. Um, will it be will it be a good adaptation? Will it be faithful to the story? that's, I guess time will tell. But
We can
I'm
only
kind of looking
hope,
forward to it.
not to cut you off there, we can only hope that it's going to be almost the same as the One Piece live action animation adaptation, where
Yeah,
they have the director, they have the working alongside the creator, so he can say, yes, yes, no, don't do that, do this. I want it to be as accurate as possible, or as humanly accurate as possible.
yeah, because I mean that's pretty much the formula that the One Piece live action followed, where they had Oda heavily input into their process of choosing the cast and uh, helping to write up the story for the live action as well, using a the source material and b the author himself. So um, yeah, I would hope that whoever takes on, because this little studio also confirmed on who's taking on the live action adaptation for Solo Leveling, but I hope that it'll follow the same formula because it does, as we've seen, it does work. And so that's the reason there's a fair amount of hype for One Piece live action season two. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, um, this adaptation turns out well because the anime adaptation so far it's turning out well. I believe season two is barely on episode 4 or 3 right now. Um, and so yeah, fingers crossed. Now I believe you have some news for us.
I do. But before I actually do go off with the news, I want to
Mhm.
give Dying Light a shout out, as today is their 10-year anniversary. 10 years
Happy
of
10 years.
drop kicking zombies and all of the gory goodness that it gives us.
Exactly, and there's no better way to celebrate it than basically going out there. If you have Dying Light, any of the games, basically one or two, go out there, boot it up, drop kick some zombies, chop up some zombies' heads off, and enjoy the gory goodness for a successful 10 years, and not to mention the next coming 10 years, since Dying Light the Beast is supposed to come out this year.
Yep. All right, that was a bit of a shout out.
Mhm.
For today, we have Mato Sehi no Slave. The manga will unfortunately be in a 1 month hiatus to prepare for the next arc, but it is set to resume on February 20th, 2025, with chapter 150.
Okay, so pretty much you at this point, I think you'd only have to wait like 3 weeks or so for the new chapter after the hiatus.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so in case you basically recognize it by its English title, it's
Chain
Chain
Soldier.
Soldier. So yeah.
Up next, we have some Netflix stuff.
Ooh,
Sakamoto
nice.
Days is the biggest hit on Netflix since it started airing on the platform, with the reporting numbers. The show is currently the number 2 on non English TV shows, just behind Squid Game, and ranks number 4 overall. This week, it is the number 1 show in 5 countries, bringing it to a total of 8.6 million views.
Man, this thing is really taking off, honestly. And I think what helped is that basically because for like the past few years, there has been kind of this was one of the mangas that was requested heavily by a lot of people to have an anime adaptation, and now essentially with the hype that Netflix put behind it, with the with the teaser trailers and when season one came, oh, when episode one came out, it was it's so far, at least in my opinion, they've done the anime adaptation fairly well so far.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Since we're on the
The
topic of Sakamoto Days, I do want
mhm,
to clarify something I have been noticing. Uh,
mhm.
I've seen a lot of people saying that, oh, the anime like skipped a few chapters and all that stuff. Yes and no. Yes, they have
Mhm.
skipped a few chapters, but I think for the anime theatrical side of it, they're shifting chapters over to kind of make a grand reveal of some sort. Because, I mean, yeah, they skipped chapters 2 and 3 and went all the way to 4, but I feel like
Mhm.
they're gonna push those over for the anime version to make it more sense. I'm trying to explain things without spoiling things because it's going to be this
So,
grand reveal.
in order, I guess, to provide more context without spoiling the grand reveal, so we left off at least here in the because I know episode 4 already came out in Japan last week, and barely here in the States we got episode 3. So, in order to kind of provide more context for it, there is a arc before the before this current theme park episode that takes place after basically the first after the first episode when Shin and Sakamoto reunite, and Shin gets brought in to work for the Sakamoto Mart, for the Sakamoto Family Mart, and the introduction of Lou. Um, there is one arc in between those, in between that time period, where it does, and just some light spoilers. It involves a bus hijacking, a small bus hijacking arc. That in the end it does reveal something about Sakamoto. Later on, that it's a pretty main. It's at least in my opinion, it's a pretty important reveal. Um, and so we were talking about this past weekend, and I know you had brought it up. I know you told me that basically that the arc that the anime had skipped over an arc, um, and I remember saying it's like, yeah, it did feel like something was a bit off with the pacing when I was watching episode 2, and I started thinking it's like there was something here prior to this, right? And so after I got done watching episode 3 a few nights ago, I I looked over the first two volumes of the manga again, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, so they didn't include the bus hijacking stuff here. But like you theorized, I have a feeling as well that it's gonna just basically that they're not necessarily cutting it out of the series, but that they're just kind of rearranging it so it's a bigger reveal down the line.
Yeah. So it's not that the anime is skipping chapter or they're not going to cut chapters out. It's more or less the way it's looking like so far. And from us that we've read the manga, they're shifting chapters over to make it more, I guess, to put it in better words, a cinematic masterpiece, so to speak.
Yeah, kind of one of those movie reveals, like twists that to basically keep the audience guessing. But yeah, I guess so far the adaptation, I think it's been fairly well. I think the animation's been fairly good. I did see before I deleted Twitter. I did see that there was some criticism of it, but after watching it by myself, I was like, no, it's not bad. I like it, so. No,
Oh yeah.
and I guess at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. Is like if you fuck with the animation, you fuck with it. Continue watching.
I mean, certainly 8 million people fuck with it.
Oh yeah, no, the statistics don't lie. Oh man, But let's keep this train rolling.
Yes. Classroom of the Elite, third year, sequel light novel. First volume will be out on March 24th, 2025. For those who are fans of Classroom of the Elite.
Yeah. Well, we have a buddy of ours that's a huge fan of Class of the Elite, but he's a fan of the anime. I keep telling him, like, you gotta, like, if you're like a really big fan of it, and I heard the light was pretty good. He's like, no, 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 I just wait for the anime to come out. I'm like, but bro, that might take a while. I was like, no, 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 they hurry up.
God.
He knows who he is.
Moving on from that one, we have a new manga that is getting English translated. Made
Go
to
ahead.
Skate will be released for the English version on fall 2025.
I think I've heard of this one before.
I don't think you have, because it's not the way you think Made to Skate is spelled.
Um. Well, I mean, because I mean, there's two. Are we talking about made to scale? Like you're basically a skateboarding prodigy, ready to take on the world.
No, maid as in like you're a maid that works with butlers that also uses a skateboard.
No, you know what? That's actually more badass.
So here's a description for people who don't know what it is. Benihana is a young woman who always wanted to become a maid. Their perfectly pressed uniforms, their brilliant cuffed hairs, their cat-like dexterity when shredding on a skateboard, their tendencies to smile no matter what chores they do. Beg your pardon? Maids don't skateboard. Au contraire, a maid's entire worth is in their shredding capabilities. All great maids know how to skate. Mary Poppins, Miss Doubtfire, Amelia Bedelia, Tony Hawk, and now that Hana has become a maid, it is time to follow in their footsteps. Warning: these maids are professionals. Do not try their stunts at home. They always wear their helmets under their maid bonnets.
That sounds incredible. And I do like the basically the reference to the different maids in movie history because Miss Doubtfire was a fucking badass with that skateboard.
Of
And Tony Hawk
course.
was a badass maid. Tony Hawk was a badass maid.
Of course. I loved Tony Hawk's maid arc.
Kind of off topic. Could you imagine that basically, you know the Tony Hawk video games, right?
Yeah,
Could you imagine that they had a maid cafe stage on it?
that'd be hilarious.
That would be awesome. That'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious and awesome. No, yeah, but no, this sounds like something. It's be pretty incredible to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah. Moving on from there, we have a anime adaptation.
Ooh,
Conan the
nice.
Sorcerer Can See. TV
Oh,
animation
okay.
is about a young blind magician who is trying to use magic to make new eyes for himself so that he can see again. No release date yet.
Yeah.
It's just the anime adaptation has been announced.
Oh, okay. That sounds like it's gonna be a pretty good interesting one. I have a feeling though there's gonna be some drama on it, because seeing is how basically the premise is this young magician trying to trying to find ways to craft new eyes for himself. That's I have a feeling we're gonna get a painful backstory with it.
Of course. Moving on from that one, we have Meabashi Witches, original TV anime. It's set to air on April 2025 by Studio Sunrise.
Nice. Did I mention what it's about?
Here's the thing. No. There is no
Ooh.
information on it. There is no manga. It is a original TV animation.
Okay,
All
so
we
this thing
know
is
is
good.
the title and when it's going to air and who the studio is. But
Uh,
so far, we don't know anything about this anime.
okay, so it seems like they have this thing pretty tight on the wraps so far. Until I'm assuming we'll get, I'm assuming we'll get more information in the next like probably like 2 3 months. When especially when the release date is like finalized on. But yeah, I'm surprised there's not like a synopsis for it or anything yet.
No. But Studio Sunrise should sound familiar.
It does. Where have I heard that from?
Well, they did a few stuff. Inuyasha
Such
back in the
as
day,
oh, okay.
Code
Mm-hmm.
Geass. They
Nice.
did Love Live school idol projects.
Okay.
No, they've been around the block with their I guess adapting animation style.
Okay. Actually, that's a pretty good studio to get if they did.
Or
If
maybe
they did.
some popular series, Cowboy Bebop,
Well,
Gintama.
well, I mean, Inuyasha and Code Geass are also pretty popular as well. But yeah, yeah, Cowboy Bebop and Gintama had on to it.
Yeah, Studio Sunrise.
So looks like this one. I'm actually kind of eager to see what they do with this one.
Yeah. Moving on, there's a collaboration with One Piece and Lego to celebrate its live action adaptation.
Nice. So I think this is an anticipation for season two, right?
Yes. So I
Nice.
have to assume, because there's not a lot of information out on it, Lego is releasing some, let's say, figures and stages from the season one of the live action adaptation.
Okay. I have a feeling that one of them is going to be the Thousand Sunny.
I
Unless
hope
you
so.
could build your own 1,000. Yeah. I mean, that would be. It seems kind of like a no brainer as a Lego creation.
Moving on from that one, we have more witches. Witch Watch TV animation is coming to both Netflix and Crunchyroll simultaneously in April 2025 by Studio Bobre Productions. Bibri.
I heard this one. I heard this one has a good amount of hype behind it. At least when the anime adaptation got announced. I haven't looked into the manga yet, but the polls I heard is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Moving on from that one, we have season 2 of Arin San wa Hakirina. I'm pretty sure I
Mm.
butchered it, and I'm not sorry.
I think at this point the audience has basically kind of accepted that you don't really apologize for a lot of stuff.
It is just who I am. I don't want peace, I want problems.
Well, you should be happy about this. Your favorite rapper's coming back, Ahara-san.
Oh, good, good.
She'll beatbox the lunch again.
Anyhow, season 2 is set to air in April 2025. No release date yet. Day, quote
Okay.
unquote. Just
Okay.
the month.
So So it looks like it's coming right around the time of the middle of the spring, or right at the beginning of the spring season of anime. So that's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. Moving on from that one, we have ReZero, Starting Life in Another World Season 3 Counterattack Arc, set to release in February 5th, 2025. It will only be 8 episodes.
Wow, that's surprising. I wonder, since it's 8 episodes, I wonder if they're gonna go back to the format of season one, where each episode's kind of like 45 to 42 minutes long.
By the short trailer they released, there's gonna be
Hmm.
a lot of fight scenes.
Yeesh. No, that's gonna be nuts. I'm hoping to catch up because I did start this, or at least I did start ReZero recently and stuff, and it's so far I'm digging it. I'm surprised season one, the length of the episodes for season one are as long as they are. But honestly, for the length that they put in, they actually cover a lot of ground when it comes to explaining basically Subaru's ability and covering the story so far.
Oh yeah, I've been enjoying it, and I hooked you into it.
Yeah, you hooked me into that into Overlord because I got done binge watching Overlord this past week, I think, and I was just like, I remember texting you, I was like, yo, this shit is actually kind of fucking lit.
And now you see why Albedo is best succubus.
See, but you know what's the funny part? You know how they take out all these basically these different figure companies take out all these different Albedo figures as wearing a swimsuit or onsen or the summer festival one.
Oh yeah.
So the one I want to give me an Albedo figure, but the one I genuinely want is the one in her armor because that armor looks fucking cool.
Oh yeah. She's very dope in that armor.
Yeah, that and not to mention she's the type of woman that will love you until somebody else's last breath. And if that somebody else threatened to kill you or even just disrespect you in any way, she's the perfect woman. Everybody should watch Overlord because of Albedo.
Of course. Maybe Shaltir and you get to find out why they're not real. If you know, you know.
Oh god, especially after the end of season one. Which you know what? We'll leave that to the listeners. To in case you haven't watched Overlord, give at least season one a chance, and you'll find out as to what Spectre reference to right now. But
Yosh.
yeah, let's keep this going.
All right. Moving on from that one, we have Gachi Kuta. No, I am not insulting you.
Oh, I thought you were just saying bless you or something. I was no that I was supposed to say, what the hell did you just call me, man? What did I do to you?
No, Gacha Kuta is getting an anime adaptation set to release in 2025 by Studio Bones.
Nice, nice. I remember at least from the because I saw the cover for the manga a few days ago when we went to Barnes and Noble, and it looks pretty interesting.
It has 5 volumes. Each volume has 194 pages. And
Mm-hmm.
here's a short description of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
In the uh, in this highly anticipated new manga, a young boy is framed for murder and casted off the edge of a floating city into the abyss, where he is tasked to fight against monsters that are elite high above a rather forgotten world. The more rich glitter, the higher the price paid by the poor.
Okay, that sounds it sounds like kind of like something kind of like a murder mystery type of manga.
Yes. Uh, if if you guys are a fan of dark dystopian fantasies like Dead Man Wonderland, or are fans of Battle Angel Alita, and maybe are into the whole fight scenes from Attack on Titans, with all of those in a dark dystopian place, you guys will love this series.
Well, yeah, at least from what it sounds like, it does sound like it's a good series. Especially because looking over some of the reviews for it, it does seem like it's worth the pickup at least in case you want to read some of the chapters before the anime adaptation comes out. It does seem, or it does look like people are enjoying reading it. So, uh, yeah, I'd say if you're interested, look more into it.
Oh yeah, science fiction, action adventure. Who doesn't like those two tags?
Yeah, you actually can't go wrong with basically, especially if it's a dark dystopian science fiction. Can't really go wrong with it.
Now here's an interesting one.
Shoot.
With You and the Rain, anime TV announced July 2025 by Studio L'Esprit.
Okay. What's it about?
The description is short, sweet, and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
On a rainy summer evening, a woman and a quote unquote dog happen to meet each other, and life has never been the same.
So wait, why is dog in quotes? I mean, it sounds like a good slice of life, wholesome series, but I mean, is this dog like half human or?
Well, let me read you the tags for it: animals,
Mm-hmm.
comedy, slice of life, supernatural.
Oh, yo, I wonder if this dog's a shapeshifter.
Or it could be a tanuki, one of those transforming raccoon dogs.
Actually, yeah, no, that would. I mean, that's kind of like a more cuter shapeshifter.
Yes. So far, it has 69 chapters. Nice.
No, nice.
But translated wise, 43 chapters in English.
Okay. Well, okay,
And it
so I
seems to
mean,
be
that's
very
not too bad.
popular in Russia and France.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see how it's popular. Especially when it has to do with kind of more animal slice of life and wholesome stuff. So, I mean, we'll see if this dog is a shapeshifting tanuki or just a all around shapeshifter. I mean, it does suck that there's only 43 chapters translated in English, but if you know Russian or French or uh, you could probably uh, go ahead and get past the 43 chapters that are just in English.
Yep. And now to end things off, author Yu Kamiya himself has confirmed that there is no Game No Life season 2. There is no
Damn.
season 2 for No Game No Life. All rumors of there is going to be one are false. The creator himself has says that there will not and will never be a season 2 for No Game No Life.
Damn. So I guess if you needed any more confirmation for if there's no game no life is gonna be season two, you heard it from the man himself, I guess. Damn, that's just he really laid in the guarantee that the no game no life is never coming back for an anime adaptation.
Oh yes. And we have heard it from the horse himself. Now everybody can just move on.
Yeah, that's true. In case you need your no game no life fix, though, pick up the manga because I think the manga's silenced the long or it's done. But either way, definitely pick up the manga and just keep up with the with the post events of season one. Um, in case you want to see how the story goes. I haven't seen no game no life season one. Um, but I heard it. I mean, obviously people are asking for a season two. It's got to be pretty good. But yeah, that was the anime news section for this episode. Let's get cracking on the review. Um, so uh, I had basically a good amount of time dog sitting over the last week or so, and I managed to start watching some stuff, start binge watching some stuff, and catching up on some stuff. And this one caught my eye, especially since it had recently come out, I believe, a fall of last year. And when it popped up again on my recommendation, I was like, yeah, okay, you know what? Let me give it a go. And it is Demon Lord 2099. Um, so far, so I think the season only has 12 episodes. And I'll go ahead and give a review that's not spoiler heavy. Just a few bullet points here and there. Especially since I barely dropped off on, or not dropped off, but I barely got to episode 7. Mainly because I started watching Bocchi the Rock and binge watched that and Laid Back Camp season 1. And so after kind of putting it on, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick up Demon Lord 1099 here. Actually, I'm almost done with Bocchi the Rock, so let me continue this for right now. Uh, but that's beside the point. Demon Lord 2099. So it's based in cyberpunk Shinjuku, um, and it follows the former Demon Lord Velto, who got revived after 500 years after his defeat by Graham, the legendary hero. He was revived by one of his vassals named Machina. Um, and so when he wakes up, he ends up waking up not to his former kingdom, which he ruled over, but he wakes up to a new monoworld that's based in the year of 2099. Um, he wakes up and sees he wakes up and sees the city of Shinjuku. It's essentially become this whole cyberpunk uh, city that's basically fused with that's basically a mixture of of advanced technology and magic, specifically mana called Ether. And he later in the first episode, the first or second episode, he finds out that his power was weakened due to the fact that over as the years went on, as the centuries went on, people pretty much forgot about him. I guess in basic terms, and pretty much the reason why he was powerful back in the olden times was seeing as how he was a demon lord. He had control over the kingdom and he had many worshippers following him. It made him all powerful. The belief of his followers made him all powerful. But now that his power was weakened, you know, or now that basically he has no followers, he only has Machina, and and after that, his power was weakened due to that. Um, and so he pretty much what happens at the start of near the beginning of the series is that he finds out that another one of his vassals, Marcus, is still alive, and he's actually running one of the major, or I guess the major corporation in Shinjuku that is helping fund kind of like this kind of the power source that powers up the city and all that. Not only that, but they're the creators of little this little tech device called a Familia, and it's this. I guess for lack of a better term, it's this kind of UI chip that you implement on the back of your neck. And you could kind of cast spells without having to chant the spells and all that. And so he goes and he finds, and so Velto goes and he finds Marcus, only to find out that Marcus essentially betrayed him. And they do get into a fight, and that's where Velto really finds how weak he has gone, because Marcus used to be an underling for him. I think he used to be one of his information officers for him. But then now at this point, Marcus just fucking floors Velto basically all over his own office, and just throws him out the building. And then that's when he reveals that due to the lack of followers and the lack of belief in him, that he no longer has the same power of the Demon Lord as he did back centuries ago. And so pretty much in order to so him and Machina and Machina's friend, this hacker called um I think it's Takahashi. Um, they try to find ways to basically build his power back up, back to basically his former glory. When he and basically when Velto mentions that his power came from the people, for people's belief in him and their loyalty to him, Takahashi has the bright idea to suggest to Velto to become a streamer. No lie.
Oh no.
Yeah, no lie. And so at first there's kind of there's doubts into kind of like becoming a streamer, mainly because the current streamers of the time, which is funny enough, there's also VTubers in the show as well. But the majority of streamers depend on that chip the familia. Thing is, Marcus had it where every single familia, basically chip, cannot be accessed by Veltol. So pretty much he has to do what's considered at that time the old school way of streaming, which is just essentially a console, a camera, and an old PC. And so pretty much from there, he starts his streaming career, and he ends up getting subscribers mainly due to his reactions playing the absolutely not Dark Souls game called Bloody Souls, or BS for short.
BS.
And his reactions to basically constantly dying on the game make it, because he does rage throughout the game a lot. But then when he also completes like a quest and all that, or he completes a game, one of the games of the series, he starts basically kind of like doing like, yeah, I fucking did it, I fucking got you. um which also enamors people more to him, and gets more people to subscribe to him. And in turn, those subscriptions are kind of like that modern version of followers, and it helps rises up his power again. Um, but yeah, I won't spoil it too much. There is more secrets involved as to what since this since Shinjuku is powered by a machine called the Immortal Furnace. What is it? Why is it called the Immortal Furnace? You have to watch. You have to watch the show to figure out more of its mystery. And, and surprisingly enough, you don't have to watch that deep into it either, because I think they reveal it in the fourth episode. Um, that's to what's powering this thing. But yeah, no, it's honestly it was pretty underrated. I will admit one of my favorite scenes of this thing was Takahashi's entrance into the show. So pretty much what happens, Veltol is this is after he starts finding out that his powers are kind of they they don't function at all in this current world. He's sitting on the bench. He's looking at the different video boards that are parading Shinjuku and all that. He sees different advertisements. He sees a VTuber streaming there and all that. And then all of a sudden, the the video boards immediately turn to porn scenes being played. And turns out that was Takahashi doing it as thick as a bet or something that that she was betting into, because she is a high end hacker. Um, and she apparently decided to air porn throughout the video boards of Shinjuku as a challenge to herself. uh, but yeah, no, it's quite a funny. It's a funny scene because when Takahashi and Velto are talking, and he's asking, why is she having to hack the video boards and just air a bunch of smut. You hear the porn still playing in the background, and basically the subtitles read what's going on in the scene as well. So it's hilarious. Um, yeah, it is 12 episodes. There is a fight scene on the. I did like the fight scene between Graham and the assistant to Marcus, because her essentially her armor form, it reminds me of something out of Metal Gear Solid. Um, but yeah, no, it's actually worth the watch. I will say I was a little surprised by the pacing, because the stuff with Marcus does wrap up around episode 7. Um, yeah, but there's still like five more episodes left, and so I don't know if that's how it is in the manga. In case anybody's read the manga for Demon Lord 2099, please feel free to comment if that's how kind of the pacing goes. But yeah, overall, I'd say so far it's a solid watch.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, anime name is Demon Lord 2099, and in case you're a fan of cyberpunk, of any cyberpunk manga, anime, and as well as basically you want to see how technology and magic mix together, and the mystery of the immortal furnace. I say check it out. That and it does have its funny moments as well, especially when Veltol begins streaming. Um, it's really funny seeing his reactions. Basically, um, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of what's the name of the dragon that lives with that one human dude and Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, the gamer?
Oh, Fafnir.
Fafnir. It does remind me a bit of Fafnir's reactions whenever he gets basically beaten in the game and all that. Except just dialed up a bit more. So it's a little bit of an extra sell on it for you.
Huh. Nice.
Yeah. Alrighty. So now that we have the anime review out of the way, let's get into some manga recommendations, shall we?
Sure. You gonna go or?
Oh, I thought you were going first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go first then.
No, the listeners deserve a break from my ramblings for now.
Okay, sounds fair. My manga recommendation is called Goinda's Naughty Secret.
Oh, okay.
It's not what you think.
I got to think it does sound like something that's a bit on the edgier side, isn't it?
No. It is. Well, the tags are romance, comedy, school life,
Hmm.
and suggestive.
Oh, okay.
So just to read you the description about it.
Hmm.
Uh, Bonsuke Hirano is an exceptionally ordinary schoolboy. He returns to his homeroom after school to pick up something he forgot, only to find the school's number one beauty, Kokoro Goinda, fidgeting around in his desk. Huh? Does she like me? Wait, maybe not. So, just to give it a bit of what the first chapter is about without spoiling too much.
Hmm.
Bonsuke comes back to his classroom because he forgot something,
Hmm.
and he sees Goinda, this blonde-haired, blue eyes, typical anime school beauty,
Hmm.
fidgeting around in his desk. She's looking at it and trying to figure out something. He thinks, "Oh, what is she doing in my desk?" And then she pulls something out of her bag, a round object, and he thinks, "Oh, is she gonna blow up my desk with a bomb?"
That's that just jumped to 100 really quick.
Yeah, but then she takes out a ribbon and
Mm.
puts a nice little bow on it, and it's like, "Oh, maybe it's a present." wait, is she giving something for me? That means she has feelings for me. But then he doubts himself and he's like, maybe she's just being nice.
Okay.
So here's the thing though. Goinda is kind of an airhead.
Okay.
She tries to shove this round object into his tiny desk, into the opening.
And it's not fitting. I'm guessing.
No. So he she pulls out Bonsuke's recorder and tries to use that as a wedge to open up his desk.
No way, nah.
And it snaps in half.
Yeah, I had figured as much.
And Bonsuke is just crying over the loss of his recorder.
Damn.
While still watching Goinda trying to figure out how to pry open his desk to put the present in his desk. And all this time, he's just thinking, why can't she put it in my shoe rack? Or maybe my cubby that's in the back where we keep all of our backpacks. No, she's just trying to shove it in the desk.
She's insistent. She's basically insistent that it has to go on the desk.
Exactly. What does she end up doing? She pulls out a power drill from her bag and unscrews the top of the desk.
What?
I shit you not. She unscrews the top of the desk, takes the wooden top off, puts the round object in the desk, and then conveniently places the wooden top on the round object.
So instead of just basically even just handing it to the dude himself, she goes through the trouble of just basically taking apart the top of his desk, stuffing the round gift in there, and then just essentially bending the top of the desk and screwing it back on.
No, she just leaves the top of the desk there.
Oh, really?
Balancing on the round object.
Nah, man. At least she's handy. At least she's handy. Because if she managed to pull out a power drill from her bag, like it's nothing. At least she's crafty with it. So
Yeah, and here's the thing. He's just panicking because all of his stuff is on the ground, his broken recorder, and before he gets a chance to go in to confront her, a teacher conveniently comes around the corner and calls him out. Hey, what are you doing? There shouldn't be any kids here. Goinda hears the teacher and she leaps out of the 2-story window.
why?
I don't know, but she lands.
So she's not
Like she lands like the ninja she is and dashes away.
So she technically has a little plus exit from Nikkei.
In a way, yeah, but the window was open, so there was no glass smashing.
Okay. Basically pseudo applause. And she just straight up, instead of just bolting out like your typical anime schoolgirl that has a crush, bolting out of the front door, she just straight up decides, you know what? I'm gonna just jump out of this 2-story window, bro.
Yeah. Or if that's not enough to get you hooked, chapter 2, because I vaguely described chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 2, everybody is like raising their hands for club assignments and for committees, for the classroom committees. So everybody already has their assignments. The last one is athletics, the athletics committee.
Mm-hmm.
And Bonsuke is like, oh man, I don't think I should raise my hand for the athletics committee. But then he gets shot in the hand with a piece of ice. And he's wondering, wait, why is my hand up? But before he could even put it down, the class president calls him to be the class representative for the athletics committee. But he didn't want to be. So then there's another student who raises his hand, and this dude, I guess to put it in a better words, he looks like Donkey Kong.
Okay. So he's kind of like a big gorilla, delinquent type of student.
Not a delinquent, but I mean it in the most literal way. He looks like Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
He is drawn as a human gorilla.
Oh, like an actual legit human gorilla.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it because usually when it comes to gorillas in like manga, it's usually like oh they're delinquent or perceived as a delinquent.
Yeah, but he's drawn as in like an actual human gorilla.
Okay. Gotcha.
He raises his hand and a projectile hits his hand. But Bonsuke sees the projectile this time and he follows it to a tree where Goinda is slingshotting pieces of ice at him.
So basically,
And yeah, and he's like, wait, why is she doing this? Because she wants to be the vice representative for the athletics committee.
okay. So basically, she only wants to be the vice rep if he's the main rep for the athletics committee.
No, here's the thing. It turned out she was the one that shot his hand to go up.
Oh, okay.
He wanted him to be the vice representative of the athletics committee, and now she's doing everything in her power to make sure the gorilla student doesn't become the vice representative.
That's a real one. Honestly, that's kind of a real one. If there's a woman out there, man, if there's a significant other out there, or potential significant other out there, that is willing to sabotage somebody else, somebody else gunning for the same position that you are, that's kind of a real one.
Here's the thing though, when the slingshot doesn't work, she pulls out an ice Gatling gun and makes it her mission to make sure the gorilla student puts his hand down.
What?
Yeah, so he's getting pelted from the outside with ice cubes, and the entire time the gorilla student is just a man of pure will and dedication and continues to have his hand up.
Man, that's a tough motherfucker to bring down, especially being pelted by a bunch of ice cubes at rapid speed.
Yeah, and Bonsuke is just watching this whole thing, begging him, please keep your hand up.
Oh yeah, because Bosuke he doesn't want to be the rep. He doesn't want anything to do with the athletic committee.
Yeah, but in the end, the gorilla student falls, and they're like, okay, so nobody's gonna be the representative. She ninja leaps into the classroom without anyone noticing and raises her hand to be the vice representative.
Okay. It's a little funny. She basically how I'm picturing it is that she ninja left out of the classroom first, was waiting to see if Bosuke raised his hand, and then basically also spotted out when the gorilla raised his hand. Then as soon as the gorilla went down, she just decided to, ninja jump back in there.
Yeah, and here's the thing though. Apparently, she ninja leaped out of the window because nobody was raising their hands for the committee,
Uh-huh.
for like any club committees.
Uh-huh.
So she was shooting ice cubes at students to forcefully raise their hands.
What?
Yes, because it was dragging on and everyone wants to go home, and I'm assuming Goinda has some other attempts she wants to do on Bonsuke. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna speed this up, and I'm gonna bust out a slingshot with ice cubes and then just shoot it at students and force them to be representative for these club rooms.
Man, Gawinda's a fucking lady on a mission at that point.
She's on a mission. You should see the cookies she bakes for him in chapter 3. But that's
Okay.
all I'm gonna say.
Okay, you know what? Now you've definitely piqued my interest in this. No, this sounds hilarious, man. What's the manga chapter called? Or what's the manga name called again?
Goinda's Naughty Secret.
Gowinda's Naughty Secret. How many chapters is it?
It is 18 chapters so far.
18 chapters so far. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it does seem like there's a decent amount of chapters and it's still ongoing, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, still ongoing. It was published on 2023.
2023. All right. Well, yeah, no, this does sound like a good like slice of life comedy manga, especially if basically Gowinda is legit trying everything she can to put the moves on Bosque to get his oblivious ass to to basically see that she does like him for real. But yeah, no, it sounds like it's worth the read.
And here's the thing. Here's the funny thing.
Hmm.
This whole entire time, Bonsuke just thinks, "Oh, she doesn't like me. She's just being nice."
I don't know, dog. If she's wanting to destroy your desk to gift you something and pretty much do like whatever random shenanigans she can to, so that way she has the opportunity to put the moves on you. Yeah, so that seems more than nice to me. So, but he knows her better than I do.
Oh yeah.
Man, so yeah, but yeah, Gowinda's Naughty Secret. Check it out. I got an anime recommend or not an anime recommendation, manga recommendation on my end. This is something that I started reading. I believe it was last year. I had picked it up back up. I picked it up like last week as well. Um, so I'll admit this is more on it's because the genre is on here is let me read it out to you first. It's comedy, fantasy, harem, isekai, romance, shonen for some reason, and slice of life. But the name of the manga is called Impure Sisters Do Not Repent.
Hmm.
Um,
Questionable.
Yeah, no, and you're gonna question it a lot more after I tell you what it's about. So pretty much, it follows this young priest named Scott, who gets assigned to the Church of Karma, to this church called the Church of Karma, to spread the religion of Takafumi. Takafumi is the hero that saved the world from the demon lord, and is now worshipped as a god. And the religion, I believe, is called Takafumiism. And so pretty much he shows up to the village where the Church of Karma is at. And in the back of his mind he's thinking, oh, like I get to preach to these people. They must be ready to kind of worship the hero and dedicate their lives to Takafumiism. Only to find out that they're not exactly fond of the church, and not because, they hate the religion and all that. It's because the Church of Karma is pretty much looked down upon thanks to the sisters, to the nuns that are running the church before Scott got there. And so, I mean, I'm trying to word this the best I can. But in chapter one, you see that the three nuns. So it's three nuns: Sister Kong, Sister Bulmera, and Sister Med. Um, they are torturing. They have a goblin in the church, and the goblin is afraid of them.
Well, that's a first.
Yeah, I know, right? Mainly due to the fact that they are torturing the goblin and ready to, I shit you not, ready to shove something up his ass.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, I guess for lack of a better term, these three nuns are inadvertently a kind of sucias. um,
Ah,
yeah, and so pretty much that's when it starts figuring out that the reason is more so in chapter two, that the reason why the villagers are don't want anything to do with the church is because of these nuns. Um, and these nuns are, they're different races. So Sister Calm later on it gets revealed, I think on chapter 4, that she's actually a succubus. Sister Blumera is a human, but she's kind of like a lolly hag. Um,
Of course, every anime has a lolly hag.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, she's one of those lolly hags that basically she tries to make herself, or she praises herself as like an as an adult woman, as like a grown woman, but turns out,
Again, every one of them has it.
but then turns out she's actually, lying about it, um, and all that. And Sister Med is an ogre. Here's the catch: she's an alcoholic drunk ogre.
Ah,
And yeah, she's the one that fucks up um, this goblin a lot. Not by violence, but how can I put this? You remember that scene from Chainsaw Man where Himeno gives Denji his first kiss?
oh yeah, and then uh,
Picture that, but not only to the goblin, but I guess to some of her ogre sisters when she explains her backstory on it. Um,
interesting.
yeah, no, but yeah, and so basically when Scott, he basically starts thinking of like, oh, how can I improve the reputation of the church and stuff on the Church of Karma. And so pretty much his idea is is to go out and say and just start preaching to the villagers like, hey, this is we're here to bring the story of Takofimiism, and this is what we're all about and all that, only for the villagers to fucking jump him.
Wow.
And so yeah, that ended up happening. And then further on it's more explained um with Sister Calm, the succubus, in her backstory. As the reason why the villagers don't like her is that, she has the appearance of kind of like the innocent succubus and all that, and basically kind of not necessarily going after men, just like typical succubuses would. But I guess the reason they don't like her is the fact that is the fact
She's not the typical succubus because she doesn't go after men.
and that
That's
and I'll actually build upon that point that you just brought up. So the reason that they don't like her is because apparently when they had introduced the sisters to the village and they held like a festival, like a welcoming festival and bonfire for them, I guess due to the fact that she hasn't given herself to temptation and all that, and she wanted to remain pure, her pheromones, I guess, leaked out stronger than they normally would, and almost everybody in that village got busy in during that bonfire event.
ah.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they kind of accuse her, like, oh, she put the spell on us to lead us into the temptation, but turns out it was just succubus, succubus pheromones. Um, but yeah, no, I will say this: it's a really funny ass read, um, and all that. And then basically, I believe because each of the sisters have their own dedicated chapter to them after
Right.
chapter 2, explaining their backstories and all that. With Sister Med, the ogre, her chapter is essentially, so pretty much Scott tells her, oh, if you want to be forgiven by the Lord, you have to quit drinking alcohol, right? Um, and it turns out she takes it on, but turns out that's more impossible than they originally thought because she has alcohol stored everywhere throughout the church and the property of the church. She has it stored in basically kind of like, I think, the pews. She has it stored underneath the floorboards. She has a damn thing. She has like a couple of bottles stored in the garden where they grow the vegetables apparently. Uh,
So she's like the Robert Downey Jr. of alcohol, where Robert Downey Jr. has food hidden around the set. She has alcohol hidden around the church.
Yeah, pretty much like that. And so, and so basically, they most of the chapter does involve involve Scott and Blumera and Calm essentially rummaging around the church to take away the alcohol, away from Med. And then that's when you get, and then that's when you go into more her backstory that the reason she got addicted to alcohol was because she was actually a nun in another church, specifically for ogres, and basically during one festival where it was incredibly festive and all that, they even allowed the priest and the nuns to essentially they essentially drink but drink a bit to still to still maintain their sense. Mad did not get that memo. She just straight up drank and drank and started making out with the other ogre nuns that were there. And then, as I refer back to the Himeno and Denji stuff, yeah, they essentially kind of were used as barf bags a bit. Um, but yeah, that's it is. I'll say this: it is an extremely funny ass read if you're into kind of like ecchi and sort of crude humor and all that. There is a hidden secret in Sister Calm's origin chapter as to how she kind of keeps her pheromones in check after the whole after that whole business at the bonfire where the villagers got freaky with it. Um, I'll let you guys figure that out for yourselves because it is it's a doozy. But yeah, the manga name is Impure Sisters Do Not Repent. It is mainly a comedy manga with some slice of life stuff and romance stuff involved in it. There's only 6 chapters that I was able to find translated so far. Supposedly there's more that have been translated over the past year. But I guessing there hasn't been a team that's kind of picked it back up to do the fan translation of it. Um, but honestly, if you want something to read during like a quick lunch break, or even like if you're just chilling at home for 30 minutes, yeah, I would say this: if you that, or if you just need a good laugh, because this shit is actually really funny. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's all we got for manga recommendations on this episode. It's about time we wrap it up. It's about to be 11 at night, and your boy got to edit this one. But so yeah, this should be coming out. I'll say on the 30th. Um, January 30th is Thursday at around 10:30 a.m. Usual release time for our podcast. But yeah, thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Otaku Kickback Sessions. I'm glad you guys are still with us, even if just checking us out on the passing. We're always thankful for anybody that comes and checks us out and gives us a shot to listen. Hope everything's going well with you guys at the start of January, heading into February, and yeah, let's keep 2025 rolling. Any last words you wanna impart on the listeners?
Drink some water,
Yeah, definitely.
hug your parents.
Yep.
People who are alone, you're never alone. Someone's always with you.
Yeah.
Someone cares.
Yeah. Exactly. See.
Just trying to bring morale up.
Yeah. Exactly. See. You can be wholesome at times, man.
Anarchy.
How is that anarchy?
See. Play
Okay.
with fire. Go outside.
Don't do. Now, why would you encourage that?
Touch grass with fire.
Let's sign this off before you get us in trouble. All right, so yeah, thank you again for joining us. Be sure to follow us on Spotify and our YouTube channels as well as Instagram. We are on Instagram at otaku_kickbacks. We're also on Blue Sky at Otaku Kickback Sessions. And yeah, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also follow us so that we keep up to date with whatever we got going on. Because we do have some plans in the mix for this year in order to kind of keep growing this channel and this podcast, and you know, hopefully give you guys more entertainment. But that being said, you guys have yourselves a good night. For Green Specter and myself, Easy the Shinobi. Have a good have a good rest of your evening. Have a good weekend. Since this is coming out on Thursday, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.